Welcome back to Heroes Next Door. Thank you all for watching. Today we're in northern New Jersey, about 20 minutes outside of New York. We're in Teaneck, New Jersey, and this is the Teaneck Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Let's go take a look and see what they have. We've been invited down here by Izzy Infield. He is the chief of the EMS service, and this is 100% volunteer. Inside here we have Chief Izzy Infield. Thank you for inviting us down.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Tell us a little bit about this place. We've never been in New Jersey, so this is the first time we're here, and you got a pretty unique place.
So we're the Teaneck Volunteer Ambulance Corps. We're about a 7-square-mile town. We have about 42,000 residents. We're about 140 members strong, do about 4,300 calls a year, varying between medical emergencies, accidents, structure fires, and various other calls for service.
Okay, you have how many members again?
About 130 to 140 active.
All volunteer?
All volunteer. Not a single person here receives any sort of compensation.
And you run 24 hours, 7 days a week?
24 hours a day. Our building is stationed, again, 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Okay, you have how many ambulances here?
We have 5 ambulances in our fleet.
Okay, and they all can get out? They're all active ambulances?
All in service, ready to go at various times. Different ambulances will be out for service.
Sure.
But whatever ambulances are here will go out as needed.
Okay.
Been around since 1939. We've been in this building since 1970, which is centrally located in the township.
Okay. How many renovations has this building gone
The
through?
building has gone through one major renovation of our apparatus floor to accommodate the newer ambulances as they've grown, and various interior upgrades to modernize the building as times change.
You know, the one cool thing that I saw when I came up upon this is it's not, an $8 million station. This is a station that has been here since the 1970s, and it has that feel. It has that camaraderie, that feeling of, family. Live here.
It's our building. We cherish our building. It's how we spend our shifts here. The building is always occupied, so it gets a lot of use. And it shows that it's the family. We all take care of it together.
Right. So thank you for inviting us in. We're going to take a look around. I'm going to try to catch up to you a little bit later. But we have a bunch of people here today. We have 10, 11 people already.
All volunteers.
That's pretty normal for you guys, though.
It is, even day and night. Weekends, holidays, you name it, our building is staffed.
Wow, that's amazing. That one thing we want to appreciate from the Heroes Next Door, which is you guys, is that volunteer service. Across America, volunteerism is being on the decline, but you guys are able to maintain that, and that's a testament to what you guys are doing here. So once again, thank you, and I'll catch up to you soon. The first room we're going to come to is their training room. Right now they are running some training with some of their probationary members. So they got a couple people here. One of their lieutenants is kind of teaching them some stuff.
It's going to be a serious patient we're taking on a helicopter.
What are you guys talking about today?
So right now we're talking about some of the criteria for transporting patients who experience trauma to the local trauma center, the Hackensack University Medical Center. Looking at some of the things like how they were injured, the mechanism, their injuries physically, the anatomy, physiology, or other considerations.
Very cool. Now, you guys are all probationary members. How long have you been in the service?
I've been here since July.
All right. March. Thank you all for joining, and we appreciate you. We couldn't do this without you. So keep up the good work and keep on learning.
All right.
Coming out of the training area, to my left is going to be their crew room. We're going to take a look at that in a little bit. Before we continue on, do us a favor. Hit subscribe, hit notification so we can keep bringing you more. Right now, we're going to walk into their administrative office and talk to one of these guys. In their administrative office, we're running into their lieutenant. This lieutenant is in charge of recruitment. How do you do most of your recruitment around here?
So we actively recruit. We go out to the local schools, to the supermarkets. We show off the ambulance. We show the equipment, how it works. We go to the pre-med clubs mostly, to students who are interested in that, and we basically explain to them what we do, why we do it.
Okay.
And we go from there. So they submit. We have an online application on our website. They submit it, and we have a process where we reach out to their references, conduct an interview, and we get them on the ambulance as quickly as we can.
Is there any specific age group that you're looking for?
Anyone above the age of 15 and a half.
Okay.
Can join. You don't have to be an EMT yet. We take you through that training process.
Okay, so you got young. How about older people? Maybe second career. Do you look for those?
We have people coming post-retirement, looking for something to do, or as a second career opportunity. People coming through training all the way from ages 15 and a half. We have active members up to the age of 80.
Wow. I was talking to Izzy out front a little bit ago, and you guys have a huge roster. So you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Coming out of the administrative office, we're making our way deeper into the building. This is where their bathrooms are. We're making our way back to the hallway, which is where their bunks are. You got to remember, this company is running anywhere from 12 to 13 calls a day. That's 24/7, 7 days a week, so they need a place to rest, and they were able to do that by creating a couple bunks. Back here are their 4 bunk rooms. They actually converted one to a storage area. The reason for that is the footprint of this building is pretty small, and working 24/7, they needed enough supplies. They had to convert one of these bunks into a supply room. What's nice about this is it's small here. You got a bed, you got your own air conditioning, but this little button here tells people what's going on. So if I ring it once, it's just information. If I ring that 3 times, the crews are going to get on the trucks and start heading out. Coming out of the bunk area, we're going to make our way to the back of the building. This is where their all-purpose room is, and we're going to run into Chief Izzy one more time. So let's go take a look what they have in here. Hey, Chief, how you doing?
Pretty good.
So this is your all-purpose room. It has a lot of things in here. Let's talk about this real quick. What is this about?
This is Toddler 1.
Toddler 1. That's pretty cool. You guys make that?
We did. A couple of members designed this in-house. We have a couple carpenters and electricians and painters. So we came up with this a couple years ago, as we have many family members who have children as they're growing up. And during July 4th, all members and their families march with us. So we came up with this idea for one child who loves the ambulances. They actually live a couple blocks away, and every time the ambulance goes by, you can always find them here. So we designed this based off of his wagon.
Right.
And it's mocked up to look as identical to one of our ambulances as possible.
That's pretty cool to have. You know, a lot of the firehouses, they have their, Smokey dog and that kind of stuff. Not many EMS have some kind of mascot. This is a pretty cool idea to do. So thank you for doing that. And I'm sure the kids absolutely love it.
It's a big hit.
So in this room, you guys have obviously a ping pong table to play and kind of hang out with. But what else do you have back here? An
additional TV for anybody that wants to play more video games. We do run training classes, recertification classes, CPR, all kinds of stuff like that.
Okay.
It's an additional hangout room for if there's a lot of people here, especially with COVID, social distancing. We've been spreading people out throughout our building.
Good.
So this is an additional place to just come out. We keep extra equipment and storage stuff back here.
Okay, you have a ton of lockers, and those are for each of the members?
These are for our active members, the ones that usually ride at night. It's a place for them to store personal items and toiletries for when they're here for those long 12 hours.
Right, so if you're looking at this right now, look at the amount of lockers and active members they have. This is significant. For a volunteer service that's been as long as you guys have been here, you guys are doing something right. So again, we appreciate you guys, and thank you for doing that. There was a little piece of history back here that you wanted to show me. What was that about?
We have the insurance for the first ambulance that we bought used in 1941.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So total amount, $71.60. That's pretty cool to have. So that should be up on a wall somewhere. That's definitely history that the younger generation needs to know about. So once again, we're going to keep working our way through here. I'm going to make my way into your other crew room.
Kitchen
through the kitchen, and we'll catch up to you a little bit later.
Perfect.
All right, thank you. Making my way from the multi-purpose room into their galley kitchen, you might notice they have doubles of a couple different things. The reason for that is they're very diversified here. They have Muslim, Jewish people that all run here, and they want to make sure that their kosher rules stand. Coming from the kitchen into their crew room, we've been to a lot of firehouses on station cribs, and every firehouse has a table. They are no different. This is their kitchen table, and this is where a lot of the problems are solved. We're running back into Izzy again here, and he's going to tell us a little bit more what they have in this room. One of the things that I noticed is everyone at the table is having a laptop. So you have Wi-Fi available for everybody?
Wi-Fi throughout the whole building, high speed, to accommodate the multiple devices, including our owned equipment as well.
Okay. On the back wall here, you have security camera. So this whole building, even though it's old, you're state of the art.
We have full coverage, interior and exterior of the building, 360 degrees, full coverage.
Okay. And on the walls, you have a bunch of history. Just like the firehouses, you take a lot of pride in your history too. We always kind of tease with each other. We got dark humor. I noticed a little Ford sign over here, and that was from an accident that put a vehicle out of service, right?
Correct.
Nowadays people don't do that too much, but that's pretty cool to put up on the wall. And what else you got up here?
We have a flag and a thank you letter from New York City for our response to 9/11, being that we're only 10 minutes away from the bridge. We're one of the agencies that responded over during a dark time and provided our services.
Thank you for that. So who do we have here? What's your name, ma'am?
Kayla.
Kayla, you've been here how long?
Probably about 10 months.
About 10 months. So can you tell us what is one of the things that you've learned since you've been here?
So of course I've learned a lot about medicine, but here in New Jersey we don't pump our own gas. I've actually even learned how to pump gas. It's even just the little things that you never thought you'd learn.
Yeah, you know, where we come from, we pump our own gas, but Jersey doesn't pump your own gas at all. And that's something that you learn. It's kind of a life skill. So you can move to some other state and you know what to do. So once again, we want to thank you for your service. So we appreciate you guys. And in the background, I hear some noise.
There is some noise.
You have a training simulator?
Yes, we do.
All right.
Let's go take a look.
So how did this come about?
Being that we have members that have all different life skills and job opportunities, we have somebody whose wife does house sales. They came across a house that the family had purchased a arcade machine for their kids. And it was time to sell the house. They didn't want to bring it with them. So it was put up for sale in the house. Nobody wanted to buy it, so they offered it to us. We came, we picked it up, and it's become our new driving simulator. It's used a couple times a day.
Right.
It's a fun thing for drivers to, you know, hang out and play with.
Right. You know, nowadays we've gone to firehouses that have the Xboxes and the Nintendos and all those kind of things. You have a regular old arcade game. That's pretty cool to have. You know, that's one of the things that I think is what doing you guys well. Something that we haven't seen. You're drawing people, the younger generations here, because of these kind of things. You have the internet available. You have arcade machines. You have a dinner table that people sit down and talk with each other. That's stuff we don't see nowadays.
We do have cable with all the movie channels. It's just a way to get people here and keep them here.
Right, right. So we got a couple more rooms, but we're going to hit the apparatus bay in a little bit, and let's go take a look at those trucks. I think there's one more room we got to see. Yes. All right, let's go take a look at that.
Ambulance. On the way. Let's go.
All right.
So the last room we're walking into is another little crew room. This is a place where they can get away from the bigger room, kind of sit down and relax. We got a couple guys here. What are you guys watching?
We're watching some Friends.
The perfect for a firehouse or an EMS house. This is a perfect way to do that. I noticed that you guys got some couches here, and you had 4 bunks in the back. You guys can sleep on these couches, waiting for the call, because the apparatus bay is right here.
Yeah. Answer the phone and go right to the trucks.
All right, cool. We're gonna go take a look at those trucks real quick. All right. Coming out into the apparatus bay, they just got a call, but Chief Izzy stayed back to give us a little bit more explanation of how they used to dispatch their calls back in the day.
So what you have here is pre-technology, when everybody had a cell phone or GPS. A quicker way that our members came up with finding an address in town without having to actually look at a map was they developed this electronic system that has the layout of our 7 square mile coverage area. It's got every road in town. Main arteries are color-coded in which direction or what type of road they are. And it even has our highways with some of the hospital in town, the various schools and big buildings. And you can see this green dot is where we are.
Okay.
So we're pretty centrally located. We're technically on the west side of town, but we have easy access to the east, south, and north sides. So what you would do is the driver would come out here, grab the scanner, and they would pull out whatever street. It's in alphabetical order.
Okay, so they just got dispatched, so you come out here.
You find the street you're going to, and you find the closest house number, and these house numbers are based off of cross streets.
Okay.
So you would scan, and right there, this red dot tells us it's going to be in this area. From here, we can plot out our route and know which end of the block it's going to be on, which way we should approach, whether there's a dead end, certain streets, tighter side streets, and this way, pre-technology, we can map it out.
So this wasn't somebody, you didn't buy this, you had to make this.
This was completely customized and designed by a committee of our members.
Wow, that's pretty cool to have. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. We've seen the card system at Lebanon, we've seen some of those, but having that transfer over onto electronic stuff and give you a clear view, you know, who's around you. You can see who's around you. You got Hackensack up north, or I don't even know where I'm at.
Out west.
Out west, and who's the rest of you around it?
We have Bergenfield to the north, New Milford to the northwest. We have Englewood and Leonia to our east, and Pagoda and Richfield Park to our south.
So you got a pretty big area to cover. I mean, 7 square miles, but a lot of people here.
Correct.
What's your population?
Again, we're about 42,000. We're, I believe, the second or third most populated in our county of 70 towns.
And you have some pretty major highways, right?
Correct. Route 4, Routes 80 and 95 all run through Teaneck. Route 4 is an artery to New York City, as well as Route 80 and 95. So the New Jersey Turnpike and Route 80, if you get on, it'll go right to California.
And that's what brings us to the Apparatus Bay. We noticed that your trucks are pretty large trucks.
Right.
Because of those highways, you want to make sure that you guys are safe. So you have 5 trucks, 2 are out for service, just getting work done. But we're going to take a look at one of those in a little bit for station rigs. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe, hit that notification, and we're going to do a station rigs. But for now, let's take a look at some more of your Apparatus Bay.
Perfect.
So your Apparatus Bay is fairly large because you got big vehicles. Was it always this big?
It was not. When it was designed in 1970, they had smaller trucks that had a smaller footprint. When our first medium duty in 1989 was delivered, they actually had to expand the bay a couple feet and raise it so that we could fit the trucks, and that was just the way the trucks were going to go for the future.
Okay. So back here you have a status board?
Yeah, we have a status board for the 5 vehicles, some extra equipment. You got extra stretcher batteries, Lucas batteries, suctions. But basically the status board tells crews what trucks are in service, what position they're supposed to be rode out in, and if there's any equipment or broken items and mileage.
Okay.
So you know what you could see there.
And you got an engineer's room because you guys do a lot of maintenance in your own vehicles, right?
Correct.
So, I see the tires back here. You change your own tires. You do, light bars and stuff like that.
We can replace most things found on the ambulance. If something breaks, whether it's a door handle, a tire, headlight, anything like that, we can simply just pop a new one in and keep the truck in service as long as we can with minimal downtime.
Yeah, that helps with saving money too. Here you got a little storage cabinet with most of your equipment as far as the medical equipment, right?
Correct. This is for a quick restock after a call. You can find most items on the ambulance in here. If needed, we can go into our larger supply room and get the additional medications that we're allowed to carry, bigger items, and large quantities of supplies.
Right. And with your call volume, you have the ability to go call after call after call. So you stock your trucks pretty full, right?
Correct. The medium-duty larger rigs help with additional storage capacity. Our crews can go between 3 to 5 calls without having to restock for major items, which happens quite often. The truck goes out and you could be back 4 hours later.
So coming from your EMS cabinet, you have a lot more space back here. What else do you have?
We have our additional supply closet that keeps all the additional supplies that don't fit in here and to restock this cabinet.
Your extra PPEs and stuff like
Correct.
that. Up here you have a bunch of crutches and walkers and stuff like that. What's that about?
We actually loan out certain devices to the public if they need a walker, cane, crutch, or wheelchair. We have various stock that people come down, provide a deposit for, and we try to encourage a donation to raise money out of it.
That is huge community service. You also have a fridge, a bunch of linens. What is that?
This is just where we restock all of our linen on the ambulances provided by the local area hospitals. As far as the rehab, we have a fridge that we keep water and a tent for fire rehab scenes. Being that we're the EMS agency in the township, whenever our fire department is operating at a fire, hazmat, or any other large-scale incident, if there are no actual patients, our role is rehab and scene safety. So we'll come out there, whether it's cold, hot, anything like that, and provide refreshments along with the local canteen unit.
Okay, and the last room, what's back there?
This is where we keep our spare oxygen.
Okay.
We can go take a look at that. We have something cool back there as well.
All right.
With COVID, we needed additional oxygen. So we had one of our members in-house come up with this design to keep all these oxygen tanks in an organized fashion as we were going through them.
Right.
So we're able to cleanly keep about 60 tanks on average.
Okay. So do you guys fill them yourself or do you send them out?
We send them out for a vendor. They come about once a week and fill our truck tanks and portables.
Okay. Very cool to have. The one thing that I've noticed from walking through the front door, making our way all the way to this, you guys are very innovative. You help your electricians, your carpenters, your all kinds of, you built that little cart. It's very cool to understand that this is a community with multiple skills, not just for EMS, but for everything to contribute to this building.
We are a large second family to most. We have tradesmen, we have everybody, and a very eclectic membership. And whatever we can do in-house to help save money and keep our members entertained, it's what works.
All right, let's go take a look at your trucks. So parked inside, you have 3 trucks. What do you got?
Right here we have our famous Ambulance 7.3. It's our 1989 GMC Frontline ambulance. It's been in service since 1989. It is not a reserve or parade piece. It actively goes out on calls several times a week. Right next to it in the middle bay, we have our 2001 Freightliner Medic Master. It's been in service, obviously, since 2001.
Okay.
And to the left here, we have our newest ambulance. It's our 2015 Freightliner Horton ambulance. We currently have a new ambulance on order, scheduled for delivery late this year to replace our 1989 ambulance. Currently not here are our 2003 and 2007 Freightliner Medic Masters that are out for scheduled maintenance.
With how many calls you guys get a year, what's the average mileage on these things?
It depends on what status that vehicle is in, whether it's in frontline, second, third, fourth, or fifth.
Okay.
Currently, 4 out of our 5 ambulances have reached 100,000 or more. Our 2007 has reached a milestone in our history since 1939. It's the first vehicle to hit 150,000 miles. We thought 100,000 miles was a lot for a vehicle, but 150,000 is where we're at right now for our highest. Our 2015 has 82,000. The medium duties let us be able to keep the vehicles for a longer time period and get that mileage out of them versus having to replace them on a...
Not only that, you guys do a lot of maintenance to it yourself. So keeping up on that, having that knowledge and understanding what the vehicles are, how they work, is a testament to how well these trucks
Correct.
are.
We actually use a smartphone app
Okay.
that's out there, and it actually tells us in advance when a vehicle needs to go for service. So nothing is delayed. Everything is routine maintenance, ahead of schedule. It's the only way to keep these vehicles operating.
Right. So just because they're older in age doesn't mean technology isn't helping you out. Very cool. So Chief Izzy, how do you fund all this thing?
We operate completely off of donations. We are a free service. There is no billing for our services. When you call 911 and we show up, there is no bill to be sent to you. We just kindly ask that those who get our services feel free to donate whatever they feel is necessary. That's what helps us be able to respond to the next call and help the next person, whether it's you again or your neighbor.
Okay. So do you do fundraisers and mailers and those kind of things?
We send mailers out to all the residents twice a year. We have some new fundraising ideas coming up this year. We have a online donation service through our Flip Cost site and our website at teaneckambulance.org.
It's pretty unique that you don't bill for any of these services. So again, we appreciate you for doing that. You know, if there's anything that we can do from Heroes Next Door, you please reach out, let us know. You have a website that people can donate to?
Correct, and you can do it through all of our social media on Instagram and Facebook. You can just search Teaneck Volunteer Ambulance Corps and we'll pop right up.
All right, very cool. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Heroes Next Door. This is another Station Cribs. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe, hit that notification so we can keep bringing you more.